What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Taj. Today we have another NBA video. You guys already know who it's about. 7'3" Knicks power forward Kristaps Porzingis. Now, the story about Porzingis should be widely known across the NBA atmosphere. Anyone who's really an avid NBA fan should be well familiar with the fact that Kristaps was taken 4th in the 2015 NBA draft, was heavily booed, especially by Knicks fans, and turned out to surprise each and every one of them by putting up a stellar line of 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game in his spectacular rookie campaign alongside star forward Carmelo Anthony in New York. So basically, Kristaps was just this guy from Latvia that's really unproven. We've seen him play a little bit in, those tapes that we didn't really get to see a lot of him in, so you didn't know really how good he was. The scouting wasn't as good as it is in the US. You really know how good guys are a lot better here, but we didn't get to scout Kristaps Porzingis like that. The pick was really based off of potential, just like the Dragon Bender pick by Phoenix this year is kind of like the same situation. Porzingis actually was supposed to be a project, Phil Jackson said, and people really didn't like that. They wanted to win now with Melo in his prime, or at least exiting his prime, not, with a 35-year-old Melo when Kristaps is at the height of his powers. But what I want to say here is that he completely exceeded everyone's expectations and became a star. We all know the story, and we all know about the dirt comparisons, the potential. The guy is honestly a freak of nature when you take a look at his height, shooting ability, and athleticism. We just don't see a lot of players like that, and it's pretty much a new generational thing. We're going to be talking about Kristaps and how good he is right now and how good he can be. I did a video like this with Giannis. That thing blew the fuck up. It has over 18,000 views right now. I did a Devin Booker one a couple days ago that just hit 500, I think. So here goes. Kristaps Porzingis is a fan favorite of many people like the NBA across the world, not just Knicks fans. Everyone likes him just because of how he was so underrated last year. He was a surprise player. People like him for that. He's humble. He's just doing his job, and he's dunking on people like crazy. And that's just not something that we're used to seeing with guys that are supposed to disappoint. When you see this guy, you think of Darko Milicic's or Andrea Bargnani's, that type of player. But no, Kristaps Porzingis really exceeded, as I'll say for the millionth time in this video, exceeded expectations. I mean, the guy just did everything you didn't expect from him. So let's talk about how good he is right now. Porzingis averaged 14 points a game last year. That's a clip it really should go up. There's no reason why it should go down. If it goes down, the Knicks really should be worrying about something, because with the additions of Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, those guys are supposed to help Kristaps Porzingis transform into that franchise centerpiece that he was drafted to be. I think they've solidified him as their centerpiece. I think he's their franchise player. Melo's on the wrong side of 30 and just getting older. He's not the same as he used to be. Porzingis is the guy now. Melo's still the best player right now, but in a couple years, you know whose team this is going to be. Kristaps has got to increase his production now. He's got to come out with a season where he puts up something like 18 points, almost 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. You want to see that. You want to see increased growth. This guy could have a year where he puts up over 20 points. I mean, he really could. It's in his ability. Now, will he do it? Probably not. We'll probably see a line like 17 points, 8 rebounds from Kristaps next year. I don't think he's going to blow up just yet. He has the potential to. He has it in him, but I just don't think that, he's transformed so much over, this offseason that he's going to be a star now and he's going to be on an all-star team. That's coming down the road for sure. But something you can really look at and say that is going to happen is Kristaps' three-point percentage and his efficiency. Last year, he was projected to be a very good three-point shooter, but wasn't actually as effective as he should have been. But, with a lot of offseason work, he's getting polished. He's turning into a real pro. He was a rookie last year. He's not a rookie anymore. It really starts now. Your career, he's got off to a great start, and he can only build off of it now. And I just want to talk about right now, before I get into the prime stuff, I made another video about 10 future stars from the 2015 NBA draft. Of course, Kristaps is included in that video. Please check it out. I think it was very engaging, at least it was for me to make. So yeah, that's that's there. But the thing about Porzingis, before I talk about him getting into his prime, I want to talk about his all-around game. Why Porzingis is so good, why you can't just look at this 14-7 numbers. 14-7 is like a decent big man in the NBA, not someone that you think about a lot. I mean, really? The fact that he's a rookie obviously makes it a lot more impressive, but when you look at the numbers, 14 points and 7 rebounds a game, in general, that's not really that impressive, you know, because there's a lot of guys that are doing way better than that you might not even think of as a top of their position player. But Kristaps Porzingis is so versatile everywhere on the court. That's why these are more impressive than they should seem, because he's a very versatile defensive player. He's athletic. He can stay with 4s and 5s. He rim protects at 7'3", so he can play either the 4 or the 5 on both sides of the ball because he's got a stretch touch and he's athletic inside, and he's going to put on some weight. He's going to get stronger, and that's going to help him to finish inside as a 5. Now, Joakim Noah is currently occupying that 5 position for the Knicks, but Noah has an injury history. He's likely to sit out a bunch of games this year and give Porzingis opportunities to play the 5 and just roam around, grab boards, block shots, and increase his defensive output while being a really good man in the middle. I mean, honestly, at 7'3", he should be stronger than he is. He's going to get bigger. He's 240 right now, which is pretty good, but honestly, if he wants to bang down low with the bigs, then yeah, he's going to have to put a little more weight, but he's got the stretch touch. That is definitely there. He's got the defense. Rebounding, it should be stronger this year. 7.3 is not exactly elite rebounding levels for a guy of his size, but that really should increase. So let's talk about his prime. We know that he should be trending upward this season, but we wonder what he's going to be like in 5 years, when he's 26, when he's entering his prime, when he's becoming that player that we've all dreamed of him becoming. Kristaps Porzingis, I think I had him, I projected his prime stats to be around 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. I don't see Kristaps being a living legend type player. I don't see him taking over the league and becoming the LeBron James, which is fine because frankly, we only need one of those guys. I think that guy is going to be Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's going to be the best player in the league along with Anthony Davis. And, you know, maybe we'll see what guards are showing up 5 years from now as the best. Kyrie Irving should be in that conversation along with Damian Lillard. You know, I could go on and on about this, but the best big man in the league, it should be Towns, Davis, and probably Porzingis should be up there in that conversation as well. I mean, 23, 10, and 2, those were my projections. Not bad. I mean, those are, I said it was a bold prediction, but it really is pretty realistic that Kristaps reaches a 23, 10, and 2 output. Honestly, yes, there's also a very large possibility that it doesn't happen. Kristaps might fall short of that, and his prime might put up like 19 and 8, which is still very good. He could have a very solid career as a borderline star rather than a true superstar. You know, if he's putting up 23, 10, and 2, I mean, that's really what you want to see out of a guy like him, preferably with a 3-point percentage above 38%. That would just be fantastic, and hopefully he could help a contending Knicks team win a title, you know, down the road when he's older, in his prime, more experienced, and being like that Dirk type player. Maybe not exactly the same archetype that Dirk was, but, you know, the same role, leading the team as a stretch big, doing a lot of things, you know, like Dirk did back in 2011 when they won the championship, something like that. They build a team around this guy and they win something, maybe. Now, in terms of Dirk comparisons, this guy is taller than Dirk and he's bigger, more athletic, not bigger, he's more athletic than Dirk ever was. Dirk relied on his jump shooting more. I think Dirk is a better shooter than this guy ever will be, but Porzingis definitely possesses athleticism Dirk has not seen in his long, respectable, and legendary NBA career. Dirk is a top 5 power forward of all time in my eyes. You know, he does a lot, and he did a lot, at least in his prime, in terms of scoring. I think he'll be better than Kristaps is. I mean, you know, he's going to have a better scoring output throughout his career than Kristaps will. But Kristaps will contribute. He will be a star in this league. I can't wait to see what we see from him. And yeah, that 2015 draft class is just crazy, and he's one of the headliners from that class. That's going to end this video. I hope you all enjoyed my How Good is Kristaps Porzingis video. Without further ado, I hope y'all enjoyed and liked this shit up. Comment an idea what you want to see from me. I'll definitely do it. consider it, whatever. And subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all.